Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're watching me from. I am still Mazes, okay? And this is still the End Bad Governance Day 6. Today, many of you may not know, the protest is getting interesting. In some places, the protesters have moved to touching the houses of those whom they may consider those who are holding them down. In some places like Daura, River State, they have touched the APC offices. In River State, before now, people were seen marching towards Wike's house. And the people of Kaduna, recall that yesterday, the people of the Kaduna state government instituted a 24 hours curfew, meaning that no one should be on the street. But the people of Kaduna defied their governor and those they consider their leaders, and they still came out on the street. Recall that yesterday the Nigerian army said that anyone seen flying the Russian flag is that act is considered a treason. Well, today some of them still flew that flag. You ask yourself, why are they doing that? I think it's getting into a different dimension. It may have been the original intention, which many of us are thinking if it continues in this trajectory, it can actually jeopardize the whole protest itself. But before we go on, let's quickly look at this from this is Sahara Reporters. The Sahara Reporters moments ago were reporting that the Nigerian police, we have seen the videos of how they shot people in Kaduna, how they shot people in Kano, how they shot people in Castina. The only peaceful place that we had so far is Lagos, Aba, and Port Harcourt. But other places, people really lost their lives. Abuja, they've shot with live bullet and tear gas, but police is suddenly denying it. It's bringing to, it's beginning to feel like the way NSAS happened, that when lives were lost and suddenly we heard from the police and the army, oh, that no bullet was fired, no lives were lost. But the Lagos coroner eventually said people should come and identify cops. Then you ask yourself, what's happening then? What is happening? If that is then the issue, what is happening? Right? So look at it here. The Inspector General of Police denial came on Tuesday today while fielding questions at the joint security press briefing in Abuja, despite videos and photos evidences making the rounds on social media of policemen shooting live ammunition at the peaceful protesters of End Bad Governance. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode, has denied the police excessive use of force on the protesters and shooting of live ammunition. Oga, it's, this thing doesn't make sense because this video is everywhere on the internet. But these guys are already denying that no one died, right? Okay, let's take again as we did and as we do here always. Let's take this state by state. Let's start with Lagos State today. In Lagos State, earlier today, this is the report from News Central.
It's been an interesting turn of events in the past few minutes, or would I say, the past few minutes as a matter of fact. But I'll start from what happened this morning. Upon arriving Ojota this morning, unlike what we've been noticing in the past 5 days, where we get here and then we see security operatives on one side and we see the protesters on the other side chanting songs of solidarity. Upon arrival today, there were no protesters here, just security operatives, and not just security operatives, but in heightened numbers. So it was like they came out with reinforcement, basically. Vehicles upon vehicles of police officers, trucks of police officers, all armed in their complete, riot regalia, all behind. However, what happened was, rather than allowing us shoot from in front of the actual center of where the protest was going on, the police officers moved us away from that area, and we had to record from several kilometers away from that particular area. So, the police had to explain to us after we questioned them. They spoke to us after we explained to them that we should not be there. All right, at the moment, do roll on now. All right, so we're being harassed now. We have to go into the vehicle.
All right, Bernard, just take it easy.
Now, police will tell you that they have not harassed protesters. Even when they are harassing reporters, the guy wore clearly and boldly written, press, reporters, harass them to leave. Leave to where? Right?
Obviously, we're being attacked by thugs and we have to go in. Yeah.
That's fine. You can just get settled in. Bernard, please stay safe, get settled in, and we can come back to you for.
Okay, so that when they will come out to deny that nothing of such happened, these are the receipts, right? Guys, we have more videos of what they've done to those protesting today. Please, before we continue, could you be so kind to click the like button, like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Right, guys? Not a single like, and we are 62 people on Twitter. Sorry, on YouTube now because it just started. Can you like the stream and share the stream, please? So we'll continue. Right. So now, this is what they are denying. But again, from Vanguard, because it is good to play various media houses so that they would not say, oh, it is one or against the other. Listen to this young man.
Political franchise and you are chasing them. I've not seen that in my life. Only Nigeria you go see them. Fully armed men, they pursue people when no hold come, we know hold bottle, we know hold stick, we know hold anything, and they pursue us. What are you trying to say? Nothing. What are you trying to do? Leave her now. Feel it. That is it. So at this point, I'm really, really upset. I don't know what to say. Okay, we came this morning, we noticed that the whole place is dry. Upon say everywhere dry. On our mind not still rest. On our still want to intimidate us to the last. Okay? What of them are going to do now? That's the only thing we know. On our match us from out there now. We'll go to our house with the frustration. Happy? No problem. You understand? No problem. But as soon as they try to steal our mouth, that's all God will steal our mouth, steal our occupation. Because this is really unfair. If you face your children.
The protesters are being chased away from the protest ground. Yeah, the force and the situation of the press are even being chased at the moment.
So now, it will be very easy for government to come back and deny this. They will say that they have not done this, they have not chased anyone. From various media companies, you're listening to this and you're hearing it. This is what the police is doing. But yet, the police will come and tell you that nothing of such happened. What manner of stupidity and nonsense is this? People do have the right to protest. If they continue like this, I mean, many people do not have the option to support the market happening in the what's happening in Kaduna, like I said yesterday, this is not the way. In a place where people have gone into protest and they go and loot library and take everything in it, but they leave books. I mean, that tells a lot. But That's a story for another day. So there is enough evidence to say that this is what the police is doing. Look at it. Another amateur recording that we can just see how they are using thugs. They are now using MC Oluomo's people now to pursue people. Look at this. You see that reporter from News Central. While that was happening, someone was standing on top of the bridge recording. So it's no longer his own cameraman, but see both him, cameraman, but someone also captured that as they happened. You see? So they had to leave. If not, their cars may be destroyed. When touts now govern a state, when touts now take over places that people can no longer air their views, people can no longer, protest in peace. And here the Inspector General of Police is denying that no one was shot, no one died, but you saw what happened in Kaduna. You saw what happened in these areas. But here they are denying that this did not happen. This is unfair and this is not acceptable. And any right-thinking Nigerian must, at this moment in time, condemn such level of nonsense from those that are supposed to protect the people. However, if we go to some areas, let's stay within the southwest. If we go to Osun, the people of Osun State came out today and they are still protesting, right? Sorry, the people of Osun came out. So they came out and they were still protesting, but you wonder why were the people in Lagos being driven out of the streets? Was there any special order given to them to evacuate people out of Lagos or out of the Ojota protest ground? Because from all the indications and reports, everyone has been asked to leave and vacate that particular vicinity. But in all, some young men are actually not giving up. Some young men are actually very vocal in saying that no, we are not accepting this, what you are doing. Like this young man here.
To a non-entity, who don't want to turn us to their talks, and this, we are not going to bother. We are going to save our country from the hands of these shenanigans, of these bad leaders. And the time is now. Nigerians, don't sit at home. Join the struggle. We are on it and we must survive. If we are not going to survive, it means the government is going to do the right thing. If truly they are after our own interest, they are our servants, not our gods, because we voted them into office.
So now, the young man was, like I said, was very eloquent and in summarizing and putting his point together. But as you all know, even in Osun, you still had people come out from the street. Listen to it.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni kẹ̀kẹ́ ká ṣe máa ṣe òbí ìtura tó wáyé torí pé kí ni ẹ̀tọ́ lẹ̀ jà tó. Mo tẹ̀sán lẹ́bi ní àná, mo ní kò ń ṣe ara nílẹ̀ ń jà fún. Gbogbo ìlú pátápátá lẹ̀ ń jà fún. Afẹ́ni tí kò bá ní òbí, tí ò bá ní èèyàn tí ò lára, ló máa sọ pé
At least you can see that the political leaders were actually very civil enough, sober, to come out and address the people. Now, on another side of Oshobo, you still have people like here come out protesting peacefully with their megaphone. The thing is, I put it this way, within the South, the protest has been peaceful. The only thing the South has suffered is the abuse by the security agents. The people of the South have not looted anything. They have not done anything. It's just that they keep coming out, using their microphone, using their mouth, their brains to say, we say capital is detrimental to this government and what they stand for, right? They keep doing that. They're moving on the street. You can see how peaceful it is. Very, very peaceful, right? That is on that one. The boats in Lagos, boats in Aba, boats in Port Harcourt, but somewhat in Port Harcourt today. We'll finish the south before we go to the north. From Port Harcourt today, it began to look a little bit different. What do I mean? The people came out, obviously, and as usual, Port Harcourt, they've gone to the APC office in Port Harcourt. Some of them, I don't know what upset them, they've started taking the billboards. I mean, guys, calm down. There is no need to destroy anything, but you look at it here, they began to do some destructions at the taking the billboard of the APC.
Yes, vandalize. The person that wanted to do that. I didn't tell you now this kind of thing. Okay, so apparently they asked this guy to stop, but he's just stopping.
The guy on top of that thing is just visibly angry, even when he was asked to stop. Again, I hope it's only the signpost that is touched. We do not need properties vandalized nor lives lost. Please, people. Now, on a lighter note in Port Harcourt, of course, people come out to vote. People are catching crews. People are just registering their anger in different formats. You have this one that looks like they called him as a Ikuku. He was even praying for the he was praying for police. He was sending prayers to Bola Tinubu.
Come on there. What did he do you?
Ikuku has sent me to message you.
Okay.
That you must end bad governance.
Yes.
The masses are hungry and angry.
Yeah.
An angry man, a hungry man is an angry man.
Yeah.
Ikuku, the people are hungry. End bad governance. Yes, Ikuku will visit you. And you know what Ikuku dance can be? This is not the dance of gwang 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 gwang. Gwang 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 gwang. Gwang 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 gwang. This is the dance of Surugada. And Surugede is the dance of the spirit. Egundemo, you are warned. A forewarned is to be forewarned. Ikuku has spoken.
So, I mean, that's River State for you. People are catching, people are catching cruise out there. Um, you know, it's quite how do I say that? It's quite funny actually how the people in that vicinity are catching cruise. But on the other hand, in Edo as well, it appears they discovered another place where palliatives, quote unquote, was being kept. And as usual, the people of Edo visited that palliative storage. But let's stay in rivers to finish dealing with rivers here. In some other part of River State, people are cutting down trees and blocking the roads.
All guys are not happy. Everybody are annoyed. Cutting the tree down, blocking the road. Fire is on. Fire is on, as you can see. Yes, yes, they must go. They must go. They must go. They have to go. Fabio, all the senators that disagree on what youth are saying, all of them must go. Thank you, and God bless you.
Guys, calm down. In your moment of anger, please do not cut down trees. Do not cut down trees. Your protest was good before now. Stay on the street calm, but not cutting down trees. You know how long it takes for such trees to grow. Let not destroy the ecosystem. Please, destroy nothing. Please, guys. I don't know if so many of you are listening to me. Please stop that. Stop that. Stop cutting down these trees because it's going to affect you. The trees has a lot of things it does for you. If you destroy the ecosystem, you have yourself to blame because those politicians that you're actually angry with, they have air conditions, whereas you don't even have fan. They live in a very nice environment, whereas mosquito will come and be biting you right, left, and center. I beg. I take God beg on that. Now, let's now move to the north. Wetin my eye see? Wetin my eye see for north? I no fit talk am. My mouth no fit talk am. I no know. Na protest they say make we protest o. Na protest. Anyway, before I dey go north, make I show una wetin they talk say na Tinubu dem house. Sorry, not Tinubu, Wike. In Port Harcourt again today, at some point, it be like say when they finish cutting trees, do them. They say they must locate Yeson Wike's house. Now, it appears whenever they are protesting in the South, they keep mentioning Akpabio. So Akpabio, in their mind, it's in the same league with, whoever they consider their problem. But today, in Kaduna, in the or mostly the northern states, the dynamics is changing because suddenly we are now seeing younger girls being at the forefront of the protest. Kilo happen. The video doesn't want to play. We are now seeing younger girls being at the forefront of that protest. And we also, at the same point, we're also seeing that they did, defy the curfew that was imposed. And if you pay attention in this video, you will still see that the Russian flag that they've talked about is still being used. Wow. You see, this is today, and you can still see Russian flag. I don't even know this thing with the Russian flag. And people have started saying, you guys want to go to Niger Republic or what? I mean, what's the essence of this Russian flag? Obviously, there is some politicians behind this, because some people must have made this flag to distribute, maybe to scare the president. I don't know. This is a place, they said 24 hours curfew. And this guy came out. 24 hours curfew. And they still came out in this number. It tells you one thing. 24 hours curfew. 24 hours curfew. And they still came out in this number. I mean, what else, what else do you want to know? It means these guys, they are not backing down. But I'm only afraid that even when they are not backing down, the way they are destroying things, like the next video you're going to watch, that is in the former President Muhammadu Buhari's hometown, where Buhari, no, Z, it's not the same flag. No, it's not the same flag. I addressed that issue of the flag. Before I bring in Buhari's this thing, let me bring this comment here. Z said, Njenje, check behind Tinubu, you see the same flag. No, it's not the same flag. It's different. The one they are protesting with is Russian flag. If I bring this here, let me see if I can do a search and I can prove that to you. If I do a search online, let me do Commander-in-Chief, that is CNC flag, Nigeria. So if I do Commander-in-Chief flag, search, look at it. Commander-in-Chief, that is CNC flag, Nigeria, right? Okay. You suddenly, let me go to pictures. So if I do that, you suddenly find out that, hold on, Commander-in-Chief, hold on. Commander-in-Chief flag, Nigeria. Yeah, I can pull that later for you, but let me show you this. So this is it here. When I search Commander-in-Chief flag, you will see all this here. But let's scroll down. This is the flag you're looking at here, right? This is the flag that is, that Nigerians are saying that this is the Russian flag, right? If you do research, I think Google gives more accurate listen as opposed to what's it called, binge. Google gives more than binge. So the bottom line here, flag in question is not the Russian flag. The flag in question is the commander in chief flag. Okay, but let's come back here, and this is what I do not understand. Now protest, then they protest. Oh. Everywhere, protest everywhere. It reached them own. Now they've gone to work. Hmm? Everybody they protest, it reached their own. They go work. Look, this is APC office in Daura. APC office in Daura. Hmm? I mean, I've watched I've watched this many times. I couldn't. I say, sure. Wetin the zinc do you? Why not they just they remove the zinc? They do wetin the house do you? Now the house with the house. Jesus Christ. Eh? See, oh, some they remove what's it called? Some they remove zinc, some they remove wood, some they remove nail. Some don't carry the fridge where they themselves. Even the protector at the window, they take everything self. Jesus Christ. I say which kind wahala it is? Eh? Had Tinubu address this problem now, we will not be in this wahala. Which kind wahala it is?
5 days a day supply road. I no go back, I no go front. I no agree make you go back. I no agree make you come. The road you don't support. The people ask I no agree make you open the road. While I too much, no back, no foot, nothing. Government no look at the people. What you call government be this?
Which kind government be this? I'm looking at this, I'm like, guys, this is too much. Why are you doing this? I can't. Honestly, it doesn't, you know, doesn't honestly. It's I'm speechless, to say the least. I'm speechless. I'm speechless to say that people are doing this. I'm speechless. Honestly, I don't know what you think, but when I look at it, I'm like, okay, guys, what are you trying to achieve with this? Dismantling the whole thing to take it home for what one? For Guinea one? Yeah? It doesn't make sense. Honestly, it does not make sense. I don't know what you think, but watching this several times, I say, is your problem now the house? Someone told me, Mazi, they might be removing it to go and use it to build their own house. Fair point. Fair point. They would think, well, if the APC brought us so much hardship, we can remove their zinc and use it to go and build our own bacha. I don't know. But guys, you need to calm down. Calm down, calm down. This is ridiculous, right? This is ridiculous. I don't know what more may have provoked them to this point. Now, if you recall that within the week, the library in Kano was burned, and there was this interview that I think that's Arise, and this interview here captured the essence and what is happening in northern Nigeria now. This interview here. I'm not trying to malign anyone. I must put this caveat here. However, what is happening, I couldn't put these thoughts together better than the way he put it here. As someone who clearly understands what is happening, and I believe, and I can actually extend his argument to posit to say that his argument goes beyond the North, right? Just take a listen.
Mobilize young people to do some of those things. But let me tell you, if you want my honest opinion, as a Nigerian and as a Northerner, what played out was not a perception of Asiwaju by the North. What played out is a clear indication of the abdication of the responsibilities that we, Northern elites, I say it with all sense of responsibility, we have abdicated our role and responsibilities to empower our young people. We've allowed a large army of uneducated, out-of-school children walking about in the streets without homes, without families, without imbibing any values. They don't even know, and they don't understand what is family, they don't understand what is societal values, they don't understand what is societal norms, and they are roaming the streets. And we could see them, 5 to 10, coming out to protest. And imagine, when they broke into Kano, the National Library in Kano, they took away everything except books. Not one book was taken by anybody. That tells you that, look, these guys, their direction is totally different from whatever you are thinking of. So we have neglected education in northern Nigeria. We have allowed a large army of uneducated young people out of school, roaming the streets. They have been the reservoir from where insurgents have been recruiting their army. They have been the reservoir from where bandits and kidnappers have been recruiting their army. I even saw a placard in Hausa saying, that they want Igbo and Indian hemp prices to crash.
Oga, you don't only have that in the north. We have one. We have some of them here also in the south. There is one. I think he calls himself Akme. He always says that the price of Igbo is also high. So it's not only in the north that you have that.
Indian hemp prices to crash. These are the kind of people that we are breeding in northern Nigeria. So it's beyond just our perception of Bola Ahmed Tinubu government. It is, a wake-up call to every northern elite, whether you are a political elite or an economic elite, that if we do not, turn around this situation, if we do not address our out-of-school children, if we do not address the absence of skills in our children in northern Nigeria, if we do not address the problems of, unemployment by people who are uneducated, we will end up with a bigger crisis than we are facing. I sympathize with my president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for the fact that this thing is happening at his own time and that people could interpret it to mean that he is the target, but I don't think he's the target.
Well, he may not be the target, but he may not be the target in the north. And across Nigeria, actually, he's not the target. But he represents the target. He represents the head. Before we actually, he continued the tradition that Buhari, started. He is the Minister of Petroleum. And he has a Minister of State for Petroleum, right? Yet, appears not to be knowledgeable enough in the things that happen within the petroleum sector. I don't know if many of you are actually aware that the report, let me quickly grab that the report that we talked about, the report they talked about, the Niger Delta Development Report. That Niger Delta, the forensic report, you hear every time, forensic report. Forensic report has actually entered audio. It has entered audio. It is now an audio report. Let me pull this out here, in order to make my point. before I move into Edo, where I will have to show you what is happening in Edo, how Edo people are now also, if care is not taken, the most discoverer. Edo people are likely to be the Mongo Park of this protest, discovering things that no other person discovers, because at the rate with which Edo people now discover palliative must be learned by everybody, right? They discover palliative so well. So let's now look at this. As I said, alluding to this, I talked about this breaking news. NDDC forensic report on looting of 6 trillion missing. Now, and I'm saying this because Tinubu must be blamed in this. He is the one in charge of petroleum, right? How can this have broken this morning and people are not outraged? I will quickly see if I can see this video by Momo on Channels TV, right? But the news here, which should worry everybody, is that we're talking about 6 trillion. And who was in charge of when this report was instituted? That was Akpabio. And now we are being told that the report that they said they paid the best forensic auditor in the world to do is gone missing. Well, thank God these are things written in computer. The auditing firm must have a copy. So unless they go to the auditing firm, wherever they are in Europe, to burn their offices, to destroy all the cloud computing and wherever they have. I mean, this is actually scary to know that Nigeria, something like this could be happening and the people pay not much attention to it. Look at this. Read this with me, please. The Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, that is the person that took over from Godswill Akpabio, Mr. Abubakar Momo, on Tuesday today, says Tuesday morning, shocked the nation. Now, everybody, no one, apart from what I'm saying here, no one is talking about this. Nigeria should actually be going mad on this. Shocked the nation with his admission that the forensic report on the Niger Delta Development Commission is missing. Right? Momo, an engineer, struggled on Channels TV Morning Brief to convince the presenter how he could not find the report, which detailed how 6.6 trillion approved for the commission was filtered by the NDDC from 2001 to 2019 through contract and sundry shady deals. The minister said he had asked for the report from the permanent secretary and other relevant staffers of many ministries upon assumption of office last year. Until date, no one can tell where the report is. Okay? No one can tell where the report is. Political economist NG reports that Momo, who stuttered at the point, explained that the report was submitted to President Buhari and not to President Goodluck Jonathan. You see, I think, not President Bola Tinubu. I think we are back to where we want to say the president is different from the presidency. If a report was submitted to the presidency under Buhari as Minister of Petroleum, isn't this same person the same thing? All of them. DSS, you can come and arrest me on this, but all of them, all those past and present ministers, they are all thieves. All of them. They didn't steal the money. NDC, 6 trillion. When money was money from 2001 to 2019. When money, not now that money is just gone gaga. And people are not, this one reached to even begin to slap those that were there. Rather, they will be relaxing somewhere with their tummy almost protruding through their nose. Nonsense people. Now, Edo, the discoverer of palliative, miracle not the tire Edo people. Edo, maybe people are saying that kind way where they take the fly. They make them when they fly, they go somewhere, they go see something, they go know, bro, so something there, come, make we go do this thing. Edo suddenly discovered another palliative hideout. And they did justice to it. Now their own food, they be. What do you want me
Yes,
to
so
do?
we are still live happening right now at Benin City, Edo State, Nigeria. The unknown warehouse where the palliative was supposed to be shared were being
Unknown
stored
warehouse.
by Edo State government. I wonder why this is happening right here in Benin City. As you can see, this is the palliative supposed to be shared for every citizen of Edo State. Now watch out, what is happening right here? Watch out, watch out. Watch out for it. It is happening. See bags of rice. See bags of rice. Weneske, where did you get this one from? Weneske, where did you get it from?
This is not better at all, so something Weneske.
Okay. Okay. Please, watch out. Watch out, people are carrying their palliative. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening live. It's happening live at Medical Store of Benin City, Edo State, Nigeria. Watch out for it. Watch out, watch out. Watch out for it. Watch out for it. Share this video. Share this video. Share this video. Are you seeing it? Are you seeing? Are you seeing it? That is the unknown warehouse where our palliative for Edo State were being shared. You can imagine what wickedness. What wickedness is this? If you are not here, you have to be here to get your palliative. It's happening right in Benin City, Edo State, Nigeria, at Medical Store. Let me see if I can go into the warehouse. I doubt. I doubt. Can you not watch the video? No doubt. What is wrong with you? No doubt.
If you like say Edo State must explain to other Nigerians, there must be some hidden power. Edo, when I go tell other Nigerians, there must be some supernatural powers that you guys get. Because the way you discover these palliative, I mean, someone here, Liz said this is Christmas in August. This is Christmas come early. There must be some power you guys have to be discovering all these, all this warehouse. And look at it. I hope this is not somebody's warehouse, so on a serious note. I hope it's truly palliative warehouse. This is what you call the people I say that they open any one at all at anything, any one. How did they take open? I don't know.
Watch out.
Unbelievable.
This is the unknown warehouse. We are here.
Unknown where this lady is also.
Here we are.
This lady is also crazy. She calls it unknown warehouse.
That's the warehouse.
Nothing will man no go here. We have unknown gunmen, we have unknown soldier. Now we are discovering unknown warehouses. Jesus. Nigeria no cool, I tell you. Nigeria are real cool. Then as it is, it appears there are some people online just kind of giving it out. If you did, they throw, pick, run. Huh?
Oh my God.
This is unbelievable. I hope these are not, I hope and I pray these are not individuals' warehouses. But if it is government warehouse where they put palliative, well, people could do. You know, Nigeria is a funny place where everything is rice. Rice, you know, a nation that solves every problem with rice. If you complain, rice. If you do this, rice. If anyone you do, rice. Everything is rice. Mm. Anything you do, rice. Do this, rice. Do the other one, rice. Rice. Mm.
This is it, so 9 minutes, so we are live, so I beg, that's no, I beg.
Edo people they fight. Oh. Mm. Edo people they fight. Oh. Edo people they fight, right? Now, here is the Inspector General of Police telling you how they worked hand in hand with protesters. You be the judge. Okay, sir. People, let us do something. Let's do a poll. All of you watching now, the police is saying that they have not used force on the protesters. Do you believe the IGP? You know, do you believe the Inspector General of Police that so let's just make it very simple. Do you believe him? Let's start this poll. Do you believe the IGP? The poll is there. Please, can you cast your vote? Do you believe him that they did not use force against those that are protesting? So that we'll know. Maybe they okay. Some of you are saying no. Some are saying yes. Do you believe him? No or yes? Right? Let's hear him out entirely. Let's hear him out. Maybe he will change his mind. Okay, sorry, you can't hear him. Okay, sorry. Since you can hear him, let's redo that again. Sorry, let's redo that again. You are saying that you can't hear him. Let's bring that back again. Um, the use of excessive force. So let's start from the beginning. Can you hear him now? Once we'll bring him in back again. Let's listen to him once more. I believe at this point you should be able to hear.
Okay, the question was about how do we intend to address the allegation of use of excessive force by the police and the military. I want to respond to that by saying that the police and the military, indeed no other security agency involved in the management of this protest has deployed excessive use of force.
Okay.
Instead, what we had
was attack on security agents during the protest. From our record, there was no shooting incident by the police. The police or the military did not use any live ammunition in the management of this protest. Instead, we have had cases where our officers were injured critically and are still in critical condition in the hospital as we speak. So I would dismiss that as fake news. It is not true. It's a very wrong allegation. We didn't use excessive force at all. We didn't even deploy the whole of our strength in this protest, even when it turned violent. We have water cannons we didn't deploy. We have rubber bullets we didn't use. All that we have used in this protest, in the management of this protest, is tear gas smoke and nothing more. Then the second question on whether attention of security agents will have shifted from other focuses to the protest. I would say no. We were not overstretched. We had standby units that we didn't deploy in managing this protest. Even while the protest was going on, a number of criminals were arrested. Hoodlums who came out to commit armed robbery were arrested. The only thing we didn't have was kidnapping. But any other offense that was committed, we paid due attention to those criminal activities. Then the third question was on the report on the social media that one of our armored personnel carrier, APC, was hijacked by protesters in Kaduna. That also is not true. I saw the video going around. But the situation in Kaduna was that we didn't even deploy APC for the protest. The APC you saw in that video was deployed to the gate of the government house in Kaduna. Protesters went to the gate, and as the APC was driving out, those protesters climbed the APC. So many of them, they climbed the APC. And what the driver of the APC did was to make a U-turn and go back to the front of the government house gate. So it wasn't a case of hijack of APC. Yeah, I think that's all. Stadium was not, we didn't take over stadium. We provided security at the stadium. That was not a takeover of the stadium. We assured those who engaged us, who approached us, and told us about their intention to stage peaceful protest. We asked them to go to a particular location. And that if they go there, we will provide security. We assured them. We have said at several occasions that we recognize the rights of citizens to peaceful protest. And that for as long as the protesters remain peaceful, the police will be there with them. So we deployed adequately to the stadium to provide adequate protection for the protesters. So we didn't take over the stadium. Thank you.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I do not know what you think. I do not know what you think, but one thing I can say to you is that it sounded somehow that the APC was not taken. They did not deploy APC, but APC was in front of the government house. Okay. You didn't deploy APC, but APC was in front of government house. Okay. The person driving the APC was driving, and a lot of people came and they thought, Haba now, police, make una fear God small now. Just small. Eh? Just small. Make una fear God small. honestly, I can't, I can't laugh enough. Hmm? I can't laugh enough. Hmm. Oh dear. If the heads of police, there is this video actually. I don't know whether a lot of you have seen it. That everything Nigeria is doing now is rice. In fact, Nigeria should be called the rice nation because you complain that Tinubu has not addressed the nation. They will tell them to come to your places and share rice. Maybe that is why Edo people keep discovering rice and indomie. I don't know, but they must give the people the secret of their rice discovery because the way Edo people are discovering palliative must be learned by other Nigerians rather than go and destroy houses. They must learn the secret of what Edo people are doing. Their discovery of rice is, uh, you know, must be understudied by every other person. I'm not kidding you. There is this trending video and young man who captured who captured it eloquently. That anything about the government, you complain, uh, I can't pay school fees, they will probably say give you a bag of rice, and so that they give you rice. And I'm surprised that it's not even or dodo that they are giving you. Listen to it.
Rice. You complain about unemployment, rice. Yes. You complain about the fact that, oh, we are hungry, rice. You say we want to protest, rice. You say, oh, you don't have medical facilities, rice. You say you don't have good schools and good teachers, rice. You say minimum wage, rice. It's rice. Can't solve all the problem. Rice. You complain about unemployment, rice. Yes. You complain about the fact that, oh, we are hungry, rice. You say we want to protest, rice. You say, oh, you don't have medical facilities, rice. You say you don't have good schools and good teachers, rice. You say minimum wage, rice. It's rice. Can't solve all the problem. Rice. You complain about.
This is the rice remix. It's a nation of absurdity and comedy where everything is about rice. Rice. Ah, I can't. I mean, honestly, it's getting outrageously outrageous. Come on now, Abba. Why una they be like this now? Why una they be like this? And the commonest thing you can as well do for the people, nobody, they can't do it. They cannot do it, right? Anyway, before we do this now, let's actually review the meeting that in all this commotion, the meeting that Tinubu himself had with the service chiefs. Obviously, he had this meeting with the service chiefs, and um, let's listen to Arise TV and see how they put that together.
In many countries to review the state of the nation amid ongoing protests embarked upon by aggrieved Nigerians, which had turned violent in some parts of the country. The situation in many northern cities had become precarious, with daily reports of violence since the protests against hardship and hunger began some 5 days ago countrywide. Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa, who briefed newsmen at the end of the security meeting, described as a treasonable offense the hoisting of the Russian flag by protesters in some Nigerian towns. Musa also ruled out the possibility of a coup to remove the democratically elected government of Tinubu, saying the military will frustrate any such undemocratic move.
2 hours meeting with Mr. President, we explained to him in details the current situation on ground since the riots have started. And what we realized is that, yes, initially people said it was a peaceful riot, but we have warned against it because we realized that there are individuals that are willing to take advantage of it to cause mayhem, and we can see clearly what has happened since it has commenced. Criminals have taken over, a lot of looting, a lot of stealing and all sorts happening. And besides that, we're also aware that I've seen it, where some foreign flags have been flown within the sovereignty of Nigeria, and that is totally unacceptable. We are warning in clear terms, and the president has also said we should convey this, that we will not accept anybody, any individual flying any foreign flag in Nigeria. That is treasonable offense, and it will be viewed and treated as such. So nobody should allow himself to be used by any individual. Also, the issue of coups. Nigeria is a sovereign nation. Nigeria is a democratic nation. All security agencies are here to defend democracy and make sure that democracy continues to strive. We will not accept anyone pushing or taking any action, seemingly or for whatever reason, to want to push for any change of government. Democracy is what we stand for. Democracy is what we continue to defend. For those of them flying flags, if you see a lot of them are kids being pushed to do that. We're following up with those ones that are sponsoring them, those that are pushing them, because you know the flags were also made. We identify those areas and we're going to take serious action against that.
Last year, NPG
Sorry, according to him, if you understand that this flag, flag, as he said, was made by some people that are going to get to those who are behind the making of those flags. And I think as of yesterday, they've made some arrests, actually. But they've made some arrests. Some people some tellers who were making those flags have been arrested. And let's have a listen.
Rufai, the CDS has spoken. I hear there's a security briefing later on today at 11 a.m. at the Defense Headquarters. Hopefully we'll bring reports from that. But your take on this story?
Yes. The CDS has spoken. President Tinubu had a security meeting yesterday with security officials. And a couple of things we just have to set straight. The government must go after the perpetrators of that heinous crime against our sovereignty. With the Russian flag they are hoisting and all sorts of manipulation they are trying to do, we must go out there and go hard on them. This protest was never about Russia in the first place. It was about the hunger and the suffering of a lot of people. And people have a right to ventilate. So anybody trying to use any sort of manipulation of some sort should be careful, because the state will go after you hard, and we will come out here and support the state when they go after you hard. And I'm happy they've arrested the tailor, and the tailor better start speaking. But also the states too had not done well. All of these violent tides too started when the states started using some of their, hoodlums and surrogates to start violence in some other parts of the country. We saw government officials across the states perpetrating this violence. And let's not deceive ourselves. Violence does not solve the problem. Protesters are protesting peacefully. You have no right to be able to infiltrate them. We all remember how a serving minister was saying.
No, Rufai. That is the point. Rufai, just moments ago, the Inspector General of Police is telling us that it was a riot. It is a riot. That they are the ones attacking the security men, that they have not used rubber bullets, they have not used live ammunition. We all saw it in Abuja, the way they dispersed the people shooting suddenly. No, we didn't shoot. Maybe there are fake police officers that were shooting in Abuja and in Kano and in Kaduna. Maybe. The only place that we have not seen that happen is in Aba, is in Port Harcourt and Lagos. Lagos is just the use of thugs. But aside that, Abuja, Kano, Kaduna, Plateau, we have seen those shootings. 5 people were killed. Day 2 in Bauchi, and the Inspector General of Police. This guy should stop lying. This guy should stop lying.
Taking an anti-protest march within the FCT. Secondly, those that are now using these to settle political scores, they should also be warned, because people have also settled political scores, not today. And for those that are now trying to twist the narrative, that, we told you not to protest. People have a right to protest. Don't elections turn violent in this country? Do we say because elections are so violent in this country, we should never hold elections? It was a bedlam in Lagos and other parts in the last election. But it's people's right to vote. So it's also people's right to protest. So when they go the route of violence, they should know that it always has a repercussion. And most importantly, I think what is coming out of the North calls for attention as regards the poverty situation. Look at children being used to perpetrate all sorts of evil.
That's right. All right, Dr. Batty.
Okay, I've argued that the president's intervention seemed to have doused tensions, reduced, lowered.
Well, I do not entirely agree that Abati. I think the president's intervention, in my view, may not necessarily have doused tension. Actually, it is the high-handedness of the security agents that may have pushed back the people, not that the tension has doused. What I fear now is that as a result of the high-handedness, the people might actually be sucked in. The protests might appear to have gone underground. When the eruption would happen, it will not be televised. I tell you, I bet you that it will not be televised. It will consume and it will take almost everybody by surprise.
Douse tensions, reduce, lowered the temperature of protests in Nigeria. But this seems to have been the case in the southern part of Nigeria, from Lagos.
What's happening?
To the south. However, in the north, in Kano, Kaduna, Yobe, and other states of the north, some protesters are still on the streets. Well, that I think is very unfortunate because I see that within the context of the impact of the president's speech. Now the president has done well. I repeat, the president has done well by calling an emergency meeting of the national security system with all the heads of the various agencies present, from the military to customs to immigration, for them to give the president an a direct report in terms of what transpired. And they did yesterday. So in that regard, I didn't know they will meet yesterday, but this morning, having been reported that they met, I think the president has acted well in that regard. However, what are the big elephants in the room? Number one is the Russian flags that we are told have been carried around Kano, and people say, we want Russia, welcome Russia, welcome Russia. Look, those people carrying those flags are imbeciles. They are idiots. They must be told very clearly that they are guilty of treason. And when they are punished, because we have been told that the police have arrested many of them, let nobody come here and talk about human rights. When you raise a foreign flag against your country, it's the very height of insurrection against your own country. But it is good, as I've argued in my column in this day newspaper today, that the Russian embassy has said, we have nothing about this. We don't know anything about this. Okay, what, as a student of international law and diplomacy, what do I expect the Russian embassy to say? They will play the right kind of diplomacy. But it is a warning to the Nigerian government. It is frightening for the Nigerian government. Now the Russians, they are in aluminium smelter company in South. Ikolabasi. They are there. They used to be in Ajakuta Steel, but they were pushed out, by a government before Tinubu's. Okay, so what is their interest in the matter? Diplomacy, yes. You will say you are not part of it, but do you think that the Russians will not be happy that with their influence in Burkina Faso, in Mali, in Niger, and the Wagner mercenaries having influence in West Africa, would they not be happy that some people are carrying flags of Russia inside Nigeria? No, that's unacceptable. And General Christopher Musa, the Chief of Defense Staff, spoke well by saying that the military of Nigeria will not stand idle by to allow that kind of situation to happen inside Nigeria. Because why it is dangerous is that it will pitch us against Ukraine. We get wheat from Russia. We get wheat from that axis. We get fertilizer from Russia. Is Russia trying to extend?
Look. At our age, a peaceful nation, not at war. About it, sometimes we defend ourselves. We know the shame self. A peaceful nation, not at war, is afraid of what Ukraine that is at war will say. We have so vast land, we can't even plant it. And we depend on a nation that is at war to get our wheat. Shame supposed to be our second name, Kumasev. Really.
Extend its influence in Nigeria? That is the dangerous question that we should worry about. But in any case, there are other issues. There are other issues. Professor Akinterewa says those people who were carrying Russian flags are from Republic of Niger. So why should Republic of Niger people come and carry Russian flags inside Nigeria, if that is the case?
Well, you now talk as if you don't know. Former President Buhari told you that they have siblings all over. There is actually no border. They can just go as if they are going to buy sweet across the kiosk. So if these things were used during the APC elections to go call their people, the other side, to come and vote, now they've used the same thing to go call their people to come and use flag, and everybody is crying. Listen, if we want to fix the nation, we must start from the head. We must start by knowing who is a Nigerian, properly identifying a Nigerian. I had once said on this platform, nothing stops us from giving ourselves 5, 10, 15, 20 years time. But we can start today. Every single child born in Nigeria must have an ID from birth, not when he grows up, from birth, must be registered. If that child dies, we must know. How do you do that? You can start, forget all this money these thieves steal. Every child born in this country probably should, as a citizen of this country, should earn 50,000 naira as a start. How do you do it? That 50,000 must be paid to that child's account, where the father and the mother are co-signees to that account. There was a time in the United Kingdom, I think it's called Child Trust Fund. Every child born in the United Kingdom was given £250. The father, the mother will sign. This account is open to this young child, does not touch it until that child gets to the age of 18. And you can keep paying, £100, £200, whatever you want to pay, £10, 5, 2, 1, every month. But at least what it means that every child, everybody wanted to have the child registered. So these are things, incentives. Even if it's 100,000, is it too much to give from that you're a citizen of Nigeria? You get 100,000 naira by birth, reviewable every 3 or 5 years, or every electoral cycle. The same way our elected men review their salaries every other year. So these are things that are doable, but not to tell me this guy, if they are from Niger Republic income. Bottom line here is, which I agree with both you and Rufai, is that it is totally wrong to fly Russian flag to this. And for Rufai to even say that he believe, to say that he believes that it's because of Tinubu's intervention that has made the protest to soft pedal. Let me tell you the truth. From what I hear from the ground is this protest is winding down or appears to be winding down. Why? Because of this injection of Russian flag. The Russian flag is the reason why this is winding down because people are now saying, oh, actually, we are hungry, we are protesting, and this is a hunger protest. But this dimension with a foreign entity now being brought into it is not in the agenda why this protest was started ab initio, and those behind it appear to be winding down and be pulling down. Not that the president addressed zero, nothing, zero, nada. That is the simple truth.
So this is something that government should take seriously, and all the security agencies are saying they will take it seriously. Okay, so I think that that is a positive development. I guess that with time, in the northern part of the country, good reason will prevail. After all, the same northern leaders who said the youth had the right to protest have also come on the back of President Tinubu's address yesterday to say, well, calm down, allow the government, allow peace. Insurrection of any part, of any type, is not the solution. And the military has spoken well by saying that they have a duty to defend the integrity of this country, and they will do their duty.
Well, zero tolerance to external influence in the sovereign nation of Nigeria. Absolutely zero tolerance. And that's why I'm very glad that the president has responded very swiftly to that by inviting the service chiefs and agents to come for a security meeting. It was a closed-door meeting yesterday, but briefing, or at least reports from General C.G. Musa, who is the CDS, Chief of Defense Staff, gives the assurance that they were not going to take any of it. Also good is the fact that the Russian embassy has come out to remove themselves completely from what's happening in Kano State, in Kaduna and some parts of the north. Of course, when you hear what's happened in terms of the hoisting of the Russian flag, you cannot but make that link with the neighboring country of Niger Republic and how Russia was, assisted them in the overthrow of President Mohamed Bazoum of Niger Republic, and now a military junta is currently ruling there. And so it brings many reasons for concerns, and rightly so. And that is why I'm very glad that they were saying it very boldly here, zero tolerance to that. The military has said that they're not going to accept any of that. It is treasonable. Later today at 11 a.m., they're going to have a press briefing to give some form of information with regards to what's going on and how they hope to tackle it. Also, it raises many questions, which we've talked about a number of times with regards to the North. I want to point out something he said, which is quite important. The use of children when it comes to things like that. We saw the footage yesterday where a child was holding stones. And whilst we talked about it raising concerns around the level of poverty and how even children can see what's happening and now coming out to say that they don't, like the governor, etc., or the government. It also says, it speaks to the fact that, to be honest, a lot of these children are being used by adults for their for their own reasons. The first things, and I'm glad you touched on elections with Wike, because during elections, we also see children in the north being used and put on queues, registered to vote when they are not even of age. And so we need to look at that and safeguard the children of the north. They are children of Nigeria. We must remember that, because if we don't look after them, this provides an incentive later on for them to be potentially radicalized, and we don't want that situation on our hands. So we must fix some issues. In the words of the military again and again, whilst we use kinetic force, we must also be very big on non-kinetic responses. Yeah. One of which is that we need to ensure that the children and the people, when it comes to infrastructure and the poverty levels, need to be addressed. They should have food to eat. We must be able to educate and provide sound education. We cannot overlook or not look at the north, because as part of Nigeria, if the other parts are not well looked after, at the end of the day, it will affect the center. Very important there. So again, just making a case for safeguarding the children of the north. They have the largest number of out-of-school children. We must ensure that they're able to go to school, that we're able to provide infrastructure that is required and needed in that area, so that we avoid situations that could get out of hand.
Well said. In the words of Peter Obi, the children you fail to train today will take their toll on all of us tomorrow. And that is exactly what the summation of the whole thing is. Obviously, we've seen it. the way it is now, sadly, it appears obviously the protest was originally planned for 10 days, right? So this is day 6, 4 days to go, and after 4 days, definitely it's going to wind down. So it was already planned ab initio, but the injection of the flag, injection of these children, I think, to be honest, our brothers and sisters in the north, at some point, they have to, tell themselves the truth and speak to themselves as honest as this man here, aside the first video I played, as honest as he has spoken here, is what our brothers and sisters in this region
have had a northern president from Katsina for 8 years. Before he came, we did not have a single IDP.
Think about this, what he's saying. Buhari was there for 8 good years. 8 years. According to him, before Buhari's inception, they didn't have the IDP. I don't think that is correct. We had some IDPs during the time of Goodluck Jonathan. Recall that in the 2015 election, there was this case if the people were going to vote in IDP. You talk about Borno, you talk about Maiduguri, you talk about some areas in Adamawa, I think Mubi or thereabout, and you talk about some areas in the northeast. So to say that there was no IDP in 2015 before Buhari came in is not entirely true. But what we did not have, the true fact was, there was no IDP in the northwest. There were IDPs in the northeast, but not northwest. So continue.
All our local governments were safe. Now Katsina State, 22 out of 34 local governments, that is 65% of Katsina, is under siege. Borno State is more secure and safer than Katsina. That we had a president who is from there. That is a failing of us northerners. We need to look at ourselves. And now here we are. We have a leadership. We have a vice president number 2 who is from the north. We have a Speaker of the House who is number 4, who is from the north. We have an SGF who is from the north. We have the senior most military officer who is from the north. We have all the ministers of defense from the north. We have the Minister of Police from the north. We have the National Security Advisor from the north. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will look at us and say, you guys have no excuse not to bring peace to your land. So it is up to us to look at ourselves in the mirror, we northerners, especially those in government, and lock the door and say, people, how do we take care of these problems? President Bola Ahmed Tinubu from the southwest cannot come and bring peace to us. It is us that must bring peace to ourselves. And it is not the military that will bring peace. I've said it again and again, banditry can never be won on the battlefield. We are just putting the military to clean up after this mess. They're everywhere. So northern leadership, all of us, must come in, lock the door and sit down and see how we can bring peace to our land. 15 years of Boko Haram, 9 years of banditry. Are we going to continue this forever? I have friends in the United States calling me and say, did you see the primary school where these kids were taken? Blown roof, nothing there. Well, this is the leadership of the North that fuels all of this. And we're looking elsewhere, we're blaming somebody else. No. Leaders of the North, those in government and out of government, it's time for us to look ourselves in the face and say, we have failed our people, we need to do better. The military cannot bring peace to ourselves. None. We must all get involved and stop this nonsense, this Boko Haram, this banditry.
So, I can't say that enough. The point here is not to knock on someone who is already on the ground, but the point here is that at some point the truth must be said. And many of you who are watching, please, if you haven't subscribed to this platform, by all means, subscribe. I have another poll up here that says, have you liked this stream or this podcast, and have you subscribed? Now, for the result of, if you go back again, if you go back to the chart, you will see that many of you who voted on do you believe the Inspector General of Police, 85% of you said no, that you do not believe him. You believe that he is lying to you. And 14% of you said yes, you believe that he is saying the truth. Well, as you can see it, and the eyes have it, right? So now the second poll there is out there. Have you liked this stream? Have you shared it? Yes or no? Only 62 people that have liked this. Come on now, people. Now this one no be say protest or come out. You know go come out protest. Like one, you know go like. Waiting be your own. Are you part of the Sapele Road or what? So having said this, guys, before I let you be, there are two things I would let us know. You know, this is called Bola Tinubu's memoir. When those who planned this protest started, they said that their sponsor is Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who believed that when you are aggrieved and you could come out to protest, who believed that what the leaders were doing were not right. It appears it has become a paradox because that thing that he did not believe in is now what is happening to him. Watch, learn, and react. Please do not, please, I beg you. I beg you now, this is not super chat or super sticker. Now just to like and subscribe so that other people will know that.
Who could improve this situation for the good of all of us, do not allow the opportunity to make things better for roads. They make it better for themselves, for their comfort and their families. Cronyism is prevailing.
Cronyism is prevailing. Now, who is the commander-in-chief of cronyism? Deji Adeyanju said yesterday that if Bola Ahmed Tinubu appoints 13 people, that 11 are from the same place. Who is now the commander-in-chief of cronyism? Not me. I mean, that's left for you to do.
Today, our rulers in Abuja and across some of their state, you know what they say to us when they remove subsidy and we said no. Hunger is increasing, they say, so what?
Hunger is increasing, they so what? Isn't that what they told you when you tell them that hunger is increasing? They say rice. What's the difference between so what and rice? So because in one hand, rice can actually solve the whole problem. On the other hand, why not?
Unemployment is a cause. They say yes, we know. Why are the people hungry? Is that let them face death?
Did he not say it? He was going to remove it. If you like, go protest. If you like, go and die.
That is what is in Abuja of today. The current way of governance, not nation, do the impossible. What it does is make poverty and the erosion of just society inevitable. We have gathered at this hour in this place to put an end to the national corruption and corruption. We have assembled here today to bring a new day and a new Nigeria to our people. Today, the Nigerian people are decent and hard-working people. They are equally long suffering. They tolerate for too long. Just because they are long suffering does not mean they should be forced to suffer until death comes. We, our people, We've had enough of excuses. Our people have had enough of having nothing. The current government's trademark is to throw empty words at our problem, as if doing nothing will cause our troubles to leave for sheer boredom. Unemployment increases. Industrialization, we have not. Refinery, nothing is working. Electricity, they lie. If this is the government of, if this is the government's idea of transformation, and we have none of it.
Electricity, they lie. At least in his own time, he was able to generate enough electricity to power a roasted corn. Was that not one?
We should not have any of it. Because before, we said the government of slow motion. Now, it is the government of no motion at all. If they want to stand still at the bus stop or train station and be stagnated without poverty, they have the right to do so. And we have a right to kick them out. Not enough that they are stealing from our children tomorrow for lack of respect in education. They are still embezzling the retirement benefit of hardworking Nigeria, including our grandfathers. They are stealing the pot, the treasury, not even leaving some coins for us to war with. Let them be out. Out now.
Let them be out. Out now. And they didn't leave anything. But mind you, they left something. Because our problem now is anything we do, we must do it with corn.
Right. You complain about unemployment, right. Yes. You complain about the fact that, oh, we are hungry, right. Right. You say we want to protest, right. Right. You say, oh, you don't have medical facilities, right. You say you don't have good schools and good teachers, right. You say minimum wage, right. It's rice. Can't solve all the problems.
So rice can solve all the problems. So their own before now, it's whatever it is. Now, I'll leave you with the following. Dere borrowed to me. Right? This is one of the things he had to say. And I will beg you, please, 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 like, share, and subscribe. And I'm out here with Dere Farotimi.
Daily Farotimi. Can the Supreme Court take fresh evidence? Are there compelling exceptional circumstances that would, dictate that? Do you think that forgery can be established at this stage, considering the fact that there are decided cases on forgery? The most celebrated one being the Njenje case in Bayelsa.
Dr. Abati, when your legislators are corrupt, you should be worried. If your executive peopled by crooks, you should be afraid. But when the judiciary stops being court of law, the people should be alarmed. Nigerian courts over the past few years have shown very clearly that we have good reasons to be worried about the capacity to deliver justice or to give equity. However, I do know that within the inherent jurisdiction of that court, it has the powers, if it so desires and if it finds the will, to hear evidence that would suggest that the person who is sat in the highest office of the land is a career criminal. That is entirely up to the Supreme Court. It is up to the court to decide whether it is capable of saving what we have described variously as a democracy. What I have said is very simple. No. I'm sorry, Dr. Abati. I am sorry, Dr. Abati. Please rein in Mr. Azan. Rein him in. Rein him in. Rein him in. He had his say and I did not interrupt him.
You had your time.
He had his say and I did not interrupt him. Please rein him in. What I said is very clear. What I said is very clear.
Don't interrupt him. Please wait.
You are very biased.
Okay.
In your own opinion.
Okay,
you made up your mind.
please.
As an unbiased arbiter, you are a judge.
Keep
the judge don't descend into arena. You just
take over the show, Mr.
To me, on that, I believe that we just have to go on issues. Let us talk about law.
Please, I beg you.
It's the law that we are talking about. It's the lawyer. Addressing the judiciary. This is the issue. The judges address them.
Okay, but
we lawyers cannot
continue
to desecrate the judiciary.
Allow him.
The judiciary are there to be there as unbiased arbiter. If you love to be part of the articulate media lawyer, go and join them.
We are not in a
position. Go and accuse of fight before the court. You don't come to the media and presume judgment. And I won't accept it. I won't accept it.
You've taken over the show.
No, we are here to inform the public. Not you, but the public.
Hold on. We are not in a position to charge you for contempt. But this is becoming contemptuous.
My words are not ambiguous. I was speaking with you specifically, Dr. Abati, over a year ago. I was away in America when you asked me specifically about the appointment of the current CJ, and he was appointed in an acting capacity at the time. And my opinion are on paper. They are clear, they are not ambiguous. I have zero trust in the capacity of the CJN to deliver justice. That is not political. That is something I had said long before there was a Peter Obi. So there is nothing political about that. There is nothing personal about that. This is all about Nigeria. It is about the country we want to leave behind for posterity, for our children. What values are we building that country with? Is it a country where nothing matters any longer once the person can snatch it, grab it? If you speak against that, you must hate the person. Is that the kind of country we have become? It is up to the judiciary to decide whether he wishes to do justice or whether he wants to continue wearing blinkers and pretending that it is a court of law when justice is vacant completely in his court. This is not about legalese. It is about building a society based on morality, equity, justice, and even law. If we are now faced with a situation where in our courts, the law does not matter anymore. You have a Lawan in the Senate, even you have an Akpabio, and then you are asking me if I have confidence in the capacity of that judiciary to do justice. I am telling you straight up, no. If anybody does not like that, it is up to them. The point I'm raising is when you have this much imputation of criminality, whether it is proven or not is another ball game entirely. It is not even seemly. Already all over the world, our reputations are in tatters simply because of the person who sits in the highest office in our land. And then we are being told it is wrong to ask questions. We must hate him if we are asking questions. I hate nobody. I hate their deeds.